What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Jericho Report Weekly News Briefing. It is the 29th, Sunday, 29th of May, 2022. What a screwed up week, right? As always, the first link below will take you over to the Patreon post. That's where you can find all the madness. Let's start off with the obvious. 19 children, 2 teachers killed in Texas elementary school shooting. I don't know what the hell went on down in Texas, or the police response to the delay. You know, it doesn't take a conspiracy theorist. This story contradicted itself from the beginning. I don't know what's going on down in Texas. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because we'll be censored for talking about it. Put a link to the story. We got other news going on. Biden, a monkeypox outbreak. Everyone should be concerned. Health experts baffled. What do you mean baffled? I think we found it. Sexual form of monkeypox blamed for global spread of virus. Sexual monkeypox. Okay, monkeypox outbreak explodes across Europe in cases in Spain and Italy traced to festival with 80,000 revelers. Put a link to this. CDC expects more monkeypox cases in the U.S. That Breitbart, we got Quebec to start vaccinating monkeypox contacts, confirms 25 cases up in Canada. Belgium begins monkeypox quarantines. Biden warns everybody should be concerned. More of this coming up in the police statement. Other news, World Health Organization chief says the COVID pandemic is most certainly not over. Oh, what are you talking about? Where fears of COVID spread overblown, infected people without symptoms, 2/3 less likely to pass on virus, study finds. That's from the Daily Mail. This is mainstream stuff. Another 36 cases of mysterious hepatitis have been recorded in children less than 10 years old after 6 died in U.S. outbreak. I wonder what's causing that. COVID vaccines may impair long-term immunity to the virus. This is 7 Israel National News. And 1 in the Joe Biden news this week's caught touching a little girl again. What is Joe Biden doing? What is he doing? Why does no one say anything about this? I told myself I wasn't going to get upset tonight, but why doesn't just someone say, take your hands off that child? Over to financial news. How major U.S. stock indexes fared on the Friday. Looks like the Dow was up 575 for the week. The Dow was up 1,951. All is well, and back to our brandy, eh? Not so much. Americans have lost $20 trillion since the start of 2022, says Zero Hedge. Gas price hits $7.29 in Los Angeles. Put a link to this, almost $5 in St. Louis. What's the gas price where you are? Joe Biden says when it comes to gas prices, we're going through an incredible transition. Yeah, a new world order, right? No, he's going to talk about electric cars and all this fantasy. I'll put a link to the tweet. New home sales plunge nearly 17% in April. That from Yahoo Finance. Sugar may be the next food you might have a hard time getting your hands on as India announces it's limiting sugar exports. Please don't take away my sweet tea. UK braces for internet blackouts due to coming wave of bankruptcies. Apparently ISPs are in trouble in the UK. Be advised, Walmart closes its doors, but not before multiple employee thefts. This is going on in Ohio. Walmarts are closing down because all of the employees are stealing. Let's see, Klaus Schwab tells attendees of World Economic Forum Davos, the future being built by us. Let me just respond to you, sir, and say death to the New World Order. Put a link to his speech. Americans are losing interest in Black Lives Matter amid urban violence and financial scandals. Bling, bling, and pop, pop. Jack Dorsey leaving Twitter board immediately. Oh, no, it's not Jack, because Elon Musk wants 25% discount his Twitter bid, as most of the users are spam bots. I think it's absurd that they suggest that most of Biden's followers are bots, because this is the most voted for president in American history. Over to New World Order and Police State News. This is where I stop and ask you to share this video. Important stuff coming up. Maybe some strong language, but I'll try to keep it under control. Texas mass murderer wrote on Facebook, I'm going to an elementary school 30 seconds before. Does this not scream MK Ultra to you? I'm just going to put that out there. This story contradicts itself all over the... Where did he get the money for these AR-15s and this brand new truck and all this ammunition and crap? I don't buy a word the TV's telling me. Police wanted to enter Texas school. Police waited to enter Texas school as shooter went on killing spree. They waited for an hour. What is going on with the police down in Texas? I don't understand this. Cops handcuffed mom amid Texas school shooting before she jumped fence, ran inside to save her kid. They're handcuffing parents who are trying to run in because the cops won't go in. This is just unbelievable. Tell me your thoughts on this whole thing in Texas. Of course, we know what's going to come out of all this. President Biden assault weapon ban has no negative impact on the Second Amendment. Oh, really? He also suggests that anyone wanting to own an AR-15, sick people who want to kill someone. I'm just going to go through these. Mitch McConnell urges GLP to work with Democrats on gun control legislation. Gun rights group warns Biden setting up national firearm database. That's from WND. Obama chimed in. Now look at this. As we grieve the children in Texas, we should take time to recognize it's been 2 years since George Floyd murdered under the knee of a police officer. What exactly is Barack Obama trying to do with this tweet? Stir up a bunch of shit? I don't understand this tweet at all. Put a link to it. Other stuff going on. Belgium becomes first country to introduce compulsory monkeypox quarantine. Anyone testing positive must isolate. 14 countries confirm outbreaks. Be advised the quarantines are starting over the monkeypox. Biden regime pushes World Health Assembly to providing World Health Organization power. He wants to give the WHO power over the U.S. during a pandemic. Put a link to this. The YouTube CEO was in attendance at the World Economic Forum, says there will always be work have to be done to censor misinformation. Yeah, I know. And this is what happens when you give up your firearms. Australia announces 2 years in prison for violating COVID rules. Telling you people they're coming for the guns, but I still maintain that they cannot get away with that shit without an Operation Blackjack type event. Some people ask me, what is Operation Blackjack? Put it in a Google search. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Also review the TV series Jericho. Same thing. Okay, over to World War III news. Kissinger warns of deadline for Ukraine peace settlement. That from RT. Apparently, the Ukraine is telling the West to go F themselves on peace settlement. I'll put a link to that. Russia forces capture a strategically important town in eastern Ukraine. Put a link to that. Russia claims it tested hypersonic Zircon missile. Put a link to that. Can go around the world in 80 days or something. I don't know. U.S. seizes a Russia-flagged tanker full of Iranian oil near Greece. Meanwhile, 2 Greek tankers seized by Iranian forces. I don't know this source. I'll put a link to it. Russian and Chinese jets deliver pointed send-off on last day of Biden Asia trip. Put a link to that. Russia warns U.S. consequences of global security. That from RT. Moscow offers safe passage of Ukrainian food exports in exchange for easing of sanctions. That from a source I don't know about. Markets Insider puts this out. Russia's central bank slashes interest rates to 11% as it tries to tame the rampant ruble. Couple more here. Israel informs U.S. it killed Iranian IRGC officials. Media leak. Put a link to this from Zero Hedge. And I got one more here. Biden says he would be willing to use force to defend Taiwan against China. Over to Earth changes in 2012 news now. I got the earthquake set up for 6 points and above for the past week. It's like we have a monster quake week. A 6.2 on the 27th, 6.2 on the 26th, 6.4, 26, 7.2 on the 26th, 6.0 on the 22nd, 6.3 on the 22nd. I'll put a link to the earthquake data. Didn't see too much on volcanoes this week. Look at this tornado. Apparently this is from last week, but this is somebody was driving along in a car, and the tornado came right at them while they're driving. I mean, I'll put a link to the video. You got to check it out. Craziness. Luckily, everybody's okay. We got homes damaged by a possible tornado in Virginia. This was just over the past couple days. You have 2 tornado touches down in North Carolina during Thursday storms. That was Thursday of this week. Put a link to check that out. Wow, check out that video. We got a hot, deadly summer coming with frequent blackouts, says Bloomberg Quick Take. I'll put a link. They got a video on that. Apparently, there's going to be a shortage of power, and, we're all going to have to watch how much air conditioning we use and all this. UK photographer spots huge ship appearing to fly. I thought that was pretty cool. I think I got that from F-Town's Twitter feed. I saw that on Twitter. I think it was F-Town's feed. Check that out. I guess it's an optical illusion, right? I guess the ocean's there, but the ship, if you really take a minute and stare at that picture, it's really wild. Other stuff going on. Lost cities of the Amazon featuring terraces, pyramids discovered using lasers in the sky. Put a link to that. I thought that was pretty cool. Asteroid 4 times the size of the Empire State Building barreling toward Earth on May 27. Well, today's the 29th, so we're all still here. I guess we're all still alive. Let's see. Meteor shower be advised over the next few days. There's going to be a major meteor shower going on. If you see things flying through the sky, that's probably what it is. Put a link to that. New kind of, look at this, highly reactive chemical found in Earth atmosphere could be triggering respiratory and heart diseases, contributing to global warming. Could be triggering respiratory and heart diseases. This is a cover story for you-know-what. Speaking of that, a couple people died this week. Usually I put them in this section because I say these people are going underground, but nowadays I think people are dying off because of the, Depeche Mode keyboardist Andy Fletcher dead at 60, don't know why, and Ray Liotta Ray Liotta was filming over in the Dominican Republic. Dead, good fella. Man, rest in peace. That sucks. Over to strange and bizarre news. Got some strange stuff this week. More people dying on U.S. roads, even as cars get scattered. Yeah, there's all these stories about people running over people and people. I got to tell you, in fact, I had a local story come out here. Let me get over to it. St. Louis County sees highest number of people killed in traffic pedestrian crashes in 20 years. Every day of the week, people are getting on the highway going wrong way driver here and there, over in Illinois, on that side, on the Missouri side. I don't know what's going on, man. Something's going on. It's affecting people's brains. Put a link to this. Florida man repeatedly called 911 to say Biden needs to be placed in prison. My man. Should have been in my shout-outs. I'll put a link to that. Let's see. Rudy Giuliani's getting upset. I think he called somebody a jackass and said you're a brainwashed asshole. And he got into a shouting match. Put a link to that. Michael Moore calls for scrapping the Second Amendment. I can't believe he's still alive. Put a link to that. Whoopi Goldberg says if the women can't have abortions, then we can't have guns. So get ready to give them up. I have no words. This woman here, speaking of abortion, she tells her baby, I could have killed you.
I could have killed you. But I chose to let you live.
I don't know what's... This guy here, this preschool teacher, says he gets his identity validation from 3-year-old students.
So today was full of little happy gender euphoria moments.
These are people teaching kids now. Make womb for breakfast uterus-shaped cereal. I'm not even going to read that. Put a link to it. Like a creepy neighbor, State Farm donating transgender books to kindergartners to schools in Florida. Put a link to that. Actor Kevin Spacey is facing more Kevin, what the hell? More sexual allegations. And we got this here. When this woman was 16, she was molested by this pastor. She got on stage and called him out in front of the whole church, made him admit it. There's a video to it. Right on. Shout out to her. That's all I got for news. Check out my favorites. More news. Russia pounds Ukrainian targets. Check out the tiny robotic crab. Beijing outbreak. More lockdowns going on. Chicago. Oh, you got to check out this video. Chicago police believe man he did. Check out what's going on in Chicago. I'm sure it was a legally registered firearm. Pointed a gun at a live TV crew while they were doing a report on gun violence. Just right in the background. Big fire breaks out on Carnival Cruise Line. Shout out to everybody who's posting video, keeping everybody informed. Check out my favorites for fresh news. Always good stuff over there. Let's see, Ron DeSantis. There's no way Florida will support WHO global pandemic treaty. Right out. Shout out to Ron DeSantis. Shout out to the Brazilian president, said the same thing. Says national sovereignty is not something to be handed over to the World Health Organization. Shout out to those guys. Shout out to the woman legally carrying gun, kills man who's shot into crowd. Police say where this happened. West Virginia lady blew the head off a guy who was firing an AR-style rifle into a crowd. Luckily, see... Why aren't any of these teachers armed? If there was, I should have said that earlier. If there was one armed teacher in that school, could have put that motherfucker on his back. I'm sorry for my language, but it's true. And shout out, speaking of that, at least 24 Missouri school districts designate teachers to carry firearms. Shout out to Missouri teachers going armed. That's all I got for this week. If you like the report, please give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If you think it sucked, it's the worst. You never want to see again, just please rate, pass it around. It helps. You can support me on Patreon or directly with DonorBox. I put a lot into these reports, a lot going into these. You can follow me on all my my Rumbles, my BitChutes, my Gabs. All my links are at the bottom. Please tell me your thoughts. Mass gun control incoming. Not without a bunch more events, and in my mind, not without an Operation Blackjack event. I don't think they have a chance unless they do something Blackjack. And if you don't know what it is, just Google Operation Blackjack. You'll find what I'm talking about. Tell me your thoughts. Monkeypox virus incoming. They're saying the global pandemic's not over. Of course not. What a week. What a week. And of course, rest in peace if people did die. And look, I don't believe anything the TV's telling me, and neither should you. Do your, look at all the information you can get your hands on and decide for yourself what you think happened. That's all I got. You guys tell me your thoughts. You guys take care, stay safe, have a good rest of the weekend, holiday weekend. Take time to, remember on this Memorial Day. And take care, stay safe, don't drink and drive. I love you very much. Have a good rest of the weekend. Have a good holiday. Have a good week. I will see you on the next one.